Okay, this next review is, again, this is a series of reviews talking about the top 20 or so top real estate website providers. These real estate website providers fall into a couple of categories, and by the way, my name is Robert Newman. I'm probably one of the most experienced real estate online marketing consultants in the U.S. And if you've been following me for a while or look anywhere else on my blog, you can quickly find plenty of information about me. What we're looking at is iHOUSEweb. This falls into the category of being a real estate website IDX provider. Now, what does that mean? So these kinds of providers tend to provide very low value websites. Now, I'm not trying to say that they don't look good or they don't do their job in terms of the way that they perform on the web. All I'm saying is that chances are strong that you're not generating a lot of leads off this website. You're mostly, if you have business cards, you're sending people to this website, and they can search. They can do property searches. But the chances of you getting more than a few leads in your entire career off a website like this is pretty rare. To demonstrate this point and to continue down the review of this particular provider, so here's the pricing that ranged for $59.98 per month all the way up to $299. Some of the very basic things that they are not included until you start spending more like $100 a month is actually integrated IDX search, which is a very basic feature. So you're probably, to get even a modicum of value out of a website like this, you're going to have to go at least $90 a month. So if you've watched any of my other reviews about real estate websites, iHOUSEweb claims that they have 30,000 customers is what they're saying. It's somewhere here on their homepage or something like that. Join 30,000 real estate agents that have these kinds of websites. All right. So let's see first and foremost if that claim is true. So here's iHOUSEweb, and again, every time somebody builds a website, they put a signature on that website. It's a link. It's like a website address, and I have a tool that picks up those links. So if they've built these websites and they have a link on them, they're going to come back here. Now, this is saying 12,251 links. It's possible that there is one of these packages that says that they will give out 5 agent sites. It's possible that those sites will be on a subdomain and that it's not going to come through as an individual website. So maybe they have 30,000 customers. I would be surprised, but it doesn't really matter. They are one of the top real estate website providers in the country, regardless, whatever the numbers are. 12,000, 30,000, that's a pretty big number. So I've identified the type of real estate website it is. What I do as part of these reviews is I also pull up, and I'm sorry, I bounced off that page a little quick. So I pull up the top ranked website, and they have a very good one. Okay, so this right here, this is a domain rank and URL rank. So 82 is one of the highest I've ever seen. So they have some very established websites using their service that have sent a ton of backlinks into their site. So this is the website in question. So now you can get a feel for what the websites are, and I do put a couple of examples under each one of these reviews, and then I also probably have a way for you to email me, and if you want, I will create like a list of 50 examples or 10 examples from the same website provider, but this is an example. It's pretty standard. And then now remember, this is the #1 site. So let's say there's 12,000. This is the top ranked site out of all 12,000 iHouse websites. My tool is really looking at mostly backlinks. Now this doesn't necessarily indicate performance in terms of lead generation, and what I try to identify is, do websites make real estate agents money? Now that doesn't count if you've got a business card, you send somebody to the site, and then that person then says, I've been using your website. You follow up with them by telephone, and you're always in contact with them. If you're doing business that way, these kinds of websites can serve a purpose. If your expectation is to drive people that you don't know to the website and then generate a lead off those people that you do not know, then this is not a very good website. So this has 114,000 backlinks being sent to it. There's 228 keywords that are associated with the site, but according to my tool, they're only getting 6 visitors. Now, again, I want to emphasize, this is the #1 site out of all 12,000. So this is why these numbers are important. It would seem that that these guys are not doing any business off their website. The keyword that is associated with their website is Jerry Diorio, and they're in position number 9. So another thing that I like to do when I'm kind of researching companies, especially when I'm doing these kinds of reviews, and I know that people get a little mystified by why I do this, but I do like to look at the leadership of the web development companies. Now, this is an interesting case. Paul Shing is the CEO of iHOUSEweb. According to his LinkedIn profile, he's been the CEO for since 2005, which probably means that he's the founder. He knows a friend of mine who is Howard Tager. Maybe friend is a little bit too aggressive. Howard Tager is a business associate. At one point, his head of technology and I were talking about partnership. Nothing ever came of it. I never did any business with him. But I've met the man a few different times. I have a lot of respect for him. He was the founder of Tiger Leads. He sold Tiger Leads, and they turned into Commission Junction. So he and Paul know each other. That doesn't mean very much because a lot of these guys that run these companies are very savvy technology business people, and their main objective is to build the company up and then sell it. Now, Paul has not done that with iHOUSEweb, and that's one of the reasons I like to look at these profiles. He probably certainly has a company valuable enough to do it at this point. iHOUSEweb has 45 employees listed. You can look at Glassdoor. The reviews, because I do always check reviews when I'm checking a technology company, the reviews are a little bit mixed in terms of iHOUSEweb. So here's the search that I did, iHOUSEweb reviews. So there's 16 reviews on ActiveRain, which is a go-to for me when I'm looking at real estate, and they're all good. I've read them all. They're great. But there's a thread on ActiveRain that started in 2013 that is talking about how this person did not get quoted a $15 MLS charge. iHOUSEweb weighed in and tried to address the problem, and I don't know if they were able to or not. But then, in addition to that in the thread, there appears to be basically a lot of conversation about salespeople at iHOUSEweb not knowing the product well enough to be able to pass on or discuss all the fees correctly. There's also a lot of conversation about people not getting calls back. My experience, 10 years in this business, dealing with every real estate website competitor that there is out there, usually on the lower end like this. Actually, in a lot of cases, I can't really say that. Some of the higher end companies are pretty bad too. But in the lower end, for sure, you really do have a very uneducated staff that are servicing the customers. It is not at all surprising. And the MLS structure is very confusing. And you're dealing with real estate agents from all over the country. So honestly, I don't really take this too seriously. In addition to these, there are a couple of iHOUSEweb customers that weigh in on this thread, and they basically say that they've been using iHOUSEweb for 10 and 11 and 12 and 13 years, and that they've always had very good, very reliable service with them. My overall impression after doing a lot of research is that this is a pretty sharp technology company that has good service that's probably going to cost you between $100 and $250 a month. I think there's other services of this type that you can get more for your money from. But if you're looking at them, and you understand very clearly what it is that you're signing up for, then these guys aren't bad. This is the iHOUSEweb contact information. Now, another of the many things that I do when I'm researching somebody, like a lot of companies are very good about hiding their information, not giving you great numbers to call, always sending you down into a customer service process. And if you have a problem in that customer service process, it's very difficult to break out of it. So what I like to do to maybe figure out a way around that is to look at who has registered their website. In this particular case, it was an incorporation that registered the website, but it does give us a street address and a phone number that might be different than the other phone numbers that they have listed. Ultimately speaking, my recommendation, as with almost all real estate websites, is that that if your only objective is to put a business card online, if that's all that you want to do, this is not a bad company to go with. They seem pretty reliable. And honestly, I've also read their Glassdoor stuff, which Glassdoor is a review service that looks at employees' reviews. And most of them say the CEO is distant. I honestly think that tech is a very hard place to be a leader in. And yes, you'd want to be, as cozy and friendly as possible. But this company's shown consistent growth. It has a huge customer base. So this person that's running the company has done a fairly good job. They have a fairly good product. They seem to care about what their customers are getting or experiencing. There's a lot of information posted. It's easy to find who their 45 employees are. All together, all in all, I think that they're a company that does the best that they know how to do. Having said that, there are a lot of other better solutions out there. They've been in business a long time. They haven't tried to keep up or really do anything bleeding edge for the amount of money they charge. And now there are people that charge roughly the same amount that will give you a lot more for the money, and I'll cover them later. All right. Thanks for spending a moment with me. I hope that you found this review on iHOUSEweb as a real estate website provider useful, along with the written scorecard that will be on the website.